Welcome to episode 21 of the Mayor's Mixtape. I'm Haley Sue Robinson, Director of Public Affairs for the City of Pueblo.
And I'm Mayor Heather Graham. I almost forgot who I was.
I was like, do you remember who you are?
I was zoning off.
Okay. Well, let me remind you that you can email us, mayor@pueblo.us, if you have questions or topics to suggest for the podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout. You can also find us on YouTube and government channel, local channel 17, to watch the replay. For those of you who maybe didn't tune in last week, we had a special guest, and we actually went on the road to the Real-Time Crime Center. So if you missed that episode, I would recommend that you watch it on YouTube. Most podcasts you can, like I say, listen on Apple or Spotify or something like that. But that one's more of a visual podcast.
Yeah.
So if you missed it, tune into our YouTube channel. You can also find it on the mayor's Facebook page, Mayor Heather Graham, or on the city's Facebook page, on LinkedIn, all those places as well. So Mayor, we frequently invite folks to send in their questions or their topics. So we're actually going to start with some questions this morning. Since the penny won't be printed anymore, will that change the 50-cent sales tax to the 5-cent sales tax?
I wish we were going to be able to get more money.
That sounds like a great...
That sounds great, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, no. It's just really based off of a percentage of a penny. So, a 50 cent. And so we'll continue to collect the 50 cent as long as the voters continue to vote that in.
I think this listener was maybe just trying to get us some more money, which I think sounds like a great idea.
I wish we could.
Yeah, me too. Okay, Mayor, we've had some exciting news in the city. With the sale of Evraz Steel, what role does Pueblo have in the future of the mill going forward?
Yeah, the city is super excited about the sale of the Long Rail Mill. Mm-hmm. It is a American-owned company now, Atlas Holdings, which I'm actually going. They're in town, so I'm going to visit them
today.
Yeah, right after we're done with this meeting.
Cool.
So it's exciting. It's exciting that they came in and that the jobs are going to continue on in our community. There's about 1,200 jobs that are at the mill, so they're a very large employer, one of the top 5 employers in our community. So the city is excited about it. We're excited to be bringing our partner in.
Yeah. I know this is something that Evraz has been working on for, honestly, a couple of years, and has been a really big priority for a lot of folks in Pueblo, just to ensure that the jobs are kept. And also, I think there's a lot of importance on an American-owned steel mill. And we do get our name or one of our monikers as the Steel City because of the steel mill. So it's exciting.
Yep.
Cool. Also, with the decommissioning of the Army's depot, 16,000 acres, what role will the city have in the future development of the site?
I think that, Pueblo-Plex has now taken over a portion of the area out there. City will continue to hopefully drive economic development and growth out to that area. We had our friends from Swiss Pod here. Last week, and as you know, they have the Hyperloop that's being constructed out on Pueblo-Plex's property. And so I continue to be hopeful for additional partnerships with people like Swiss Pod, bringing more jobs to the community now that Pueblo-Plex has the space because they've taken over. Yep, hopefully we can start to see some expansion out there.
Cool. Very exciting. This was a follow-up question from last week's episode about the Real-Time Crime Center and the drones as first responders. I'm wondering if we have insurance on the drones in case of hazards such as lightning, hail, etc.
Yes, all of our drones are insured. They're very expensive, so we insure them. Yeah. The 5 new drones as first responders that we're getting in 2025, they cost us about $350,000. So
we would want to have insurance.
We would want to have insurance on it. So they are insured, and even when we had talked to Brink, who is the provider of the drones, if we have any issues with the drone, we can actually just send it back in and they'll send us a brand new one. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So we have a good partnership with the manufacturer of these drones.
Great. Well, and, last night at the council work session, we heard from Naomi Hedden, who we also hosted on the podcast recently. And I think that's one thing that's important for our purchasing director is insurance. And, when we are making these really large purchases, focusing on the longevity of them, especially when it comes to technology.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think that's a great question. And then this last question was wondering how good the video of the drones look in the rain. And that's one thing that I followed up with Chief Noller about. I know we currently have drones besides our drones as first responders, and we have drone pilots within the police department, and we've used them in situations where there has been rain. Mm-hmm. Another thing, while the quality obviously is not as good as when it's clear outside, we've used those drones to help the fire department as well. So there's been situations where there's smoke or flames or other things that maybe kind of interfere or you would think would interfere with picture quality, but we're still able to use them to the full effect that we need to.
Right.
So, yeah, good questions. Okay, so Mayor, over the weekend, the city posted an economic development or business development from 2025 on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and it included some businesses like Blackbird Diner, Dutch Bros, Whataburger, the addition of new housing, including the cottages at Park West with 93 units, and Pueblo Springs Apartments with 199 new units. And there were also additional larger corporations like La Schwab and Tractor Supply. Mayor, this was a request that you made to kind of notify the public. Why did you think that was important to do?
I think that we continuously hear that there's no growth in the community and, no new housing being built. And quite frankly, that's untrue. We have 300 new units coming online. This is the biggest growth that the city has seen in many years when it comes to multifamily housing out on the boulevard. Several new businesses coming to Pueblo, opening in Pueblo. And so I think it's important to tell the story of really what's going on in the community, talk about the new businesses that are coming in. We're going to start running a similar video on small businesses that have come to our community, because although they're not new builds, they might be an existing brick and mortar, or they're not chain, they're also the backbone of this community. And so that's going to be next, highlighting some of the small businesses that have come into our community. But I think it's important for the community, maybe you don't get all the way to the north side of town, or maybe the north side people don't have a reason to come to the south side. And maybe you don't know what that large hole in the ground is being dug for.
Like the tractor supply over by Ron Colley.
Tons of calls. What's going on? What's being built? And so I think it's important for the city to continue to tell the story about development and new businesses and new housing projects coming into our community.
Sure. And I think another thing, and you've talked about this a lot, is just increasing amenities. And while we in city government really look at amenities that we can control as like parks or the offerings that we have that we fund, these are all amenities as well. You've mentioned it before as far as like economic leakage. And so some of these places like Dutch Bros.
How long were you in line today?
It actually was kind of short. I was excited.
What time was it?
Well, it was 6:45, so I was coming back from the gym, and it was kind of short.
Yeah.
So, I did try to go by yesterday, and it was in the afternoon at like probably 12:45.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
crazy
packed.
busy.
It was packed.
Yep.
It's only today is day 3.
Yep.
Of it being open, but I mean the only time I've ever had Dutch Bros before is in Colorado Springs. So. I know previously we've talked about economic development, and one of the levers that you want to pull is that economic leakage. And so I literally was just thinking about Whataburger and Dutch Bros. Those are two things that
are in other communities.
Yeah.
That people drive to go enjoy.
Yep.
And now they're here.
And now they're here, and so I don't have to
So
go
there's
to
no
those other
leakage
communities.
anymore.
Yeah.
Amazing
Yeah.
how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting. So when we posted these videos on social media, we did get a couple of follow-up questions, and I know some of these we've talked about before, but I thought we could maybe bring it up again because it seems to be like a reoccurring topic, and also it's been a few episodes since we've talked about it. But one thing in particular a lot of folks talk about is, hey, what are we going to do with some of these large vacant buildings, or how can we turn these commercial buildings into something else? And one in particular that folks talk about a lot is Kmart.
Yep.
Southside Kmart, Northside Kmart. Can you talk about what the city's role is there, or like
the city
what
has
can be
no
done?
role. I mean, these are privately owned businesses.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, Kmart has a lease
Mm-hmm.
with the landlords of the two locations.
Sure.
That whether Kmart is in there or not, they are required to pay. We're talking like 40-year leases, right? So
Okay.
these property owners, these landlords are going to continue to collect their check every month.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to put their building back into a good use for what the community sees as a good use when you have these people who don't even live in our community who are just continuing to collect a rent check every month. That's why we see those properties
Okay.
empty and security, the north side,
Sure.
They continuously have a security truck driving around, but they'll continue to keep them empty as long as they're
Right.
collecting $1.
Because it's still kind of profitable.
Yeah, we have the vacant property. We do vacant property liens on buildings. They pay their money. So there's absolutely nothing the city can do when it comes to privately owned property, privately owned businesses. We can ticket for code enforcement. We had a lot of conversation last night about boarded up privately owned properties in the downtown area. The city can only do so much enforcement when it comes to boarded up properties. We issue tickets. We get these individuals into court. They pay the fine. We issue a ticket. We get them. It's a sick cycle.
Yeah.
The city, the government cannot go in and take somebody's property because it has boards on it or because it's vacant.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that actually recently came up with, you mentioned like businesses downtown, but that's one thing that came up regarding code enforcement. There was kind of some misinformation out there that if they go out and they issue a vacant property notice and folks have to register with that payment, but if it's boarded up, that all of a sudden the city owns it within a certain period of time.
Yeah, that's not how
Yeah.
life really works. We can lien the property.
Sure.
But the liens are not, they're
We would
not
still have to go
high
to
value
court.
liens
Yeah.
to where we would assume somebody's privately owned property.
Yeah, we're talking
$500,
weed liens. We're talking
$300, $200 bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the kinds of liens that we're placing.
Yeah, so
The city government does not have the tools to take over privately owned spaces for having boards in their windows.
okay.
Do we like it? No. Do we agree
no.
with it? No.
Sure.
Do we issue tickets on it? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know code enforcement is honestly this is a pretty well-staffed code enforcement, one of the most well-staffed code enforcements we have had in a number of years. But man, they work their butts off.
Yeah, cleaning up other people's properties.
Yeah. Yeah. And whether it's boarded properties, like I said, weed properties, like you just see weeds growing up above people's fences or whatever the thing is, but or junk vehicles, all those types of things. But they work their butts off.
They do.
Yeah.
It's a hard job cleaning up other people's crap.
It is. And maybe not necessarily a job I would want to have because I think it's pretty tough.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm grateful that they do it. Okay, so Mayor, there was quite a bit of discussion last night at City Council. It was great to hear from Naomi a little bit more about the process with the Pueblo Municipal Justice Center. Anything in particular you want to focus on or talk about as a recap from the City Council meeting?
I think that, we're going to continue to wait on PMJC until we get actual numbers back.
Sure.
Take them to City Council, see what we're going to do as far as financing goes. We hope to have those numbers the first week of August.
Okay. That's pretty soon.
That's pretty soon, yeah.
It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we heard Naomi discuss that with City Council last night. So I was glad she came. I was glad that she came and presented on the process that they have used to procure this contract with Train moving forward. PMJC's air conditioner went out yesterday right before the City Council meeting started.
Yeah.
And it was over 95 degrees in the police department. So it's back and it's working, but we're starting to see it go down more frequently now. So this is probably the 5th time in the last month that it's gone down. So with the high temperatures, we're going to see more of that.
Well, and we have a couple triple-digit days coming up, and so I know that's one thing that we're all worried about is what happens over there. And as discussed last night, we have some of the city's most critical infrastructure in that building with our IT department, with dispatch, and then just being able to have normal operations with municipal court and the police department. It's really important.
Yeah. And then we had SCARF on work session, so we're looking forward to
Steel City, Arkansas River Festival, July 26th. Yeah, that'll be fun. River surf competition, build your own boat race, rubber duck race, and Trailgate, which sounds fun. So kind of a little bit of everything. Oh, and the boat or the bike and paddle parade. So free things, competition things, live music, and lots of fun for people. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. 11 days.
Well, and kind of highlighting some of our biggest water amenities in the city, from the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center all the way down to Kayak Park, Pillar Park.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to focus on from the city council meeting last night?
I'll just reiterate that we had some small businesses come in the downtown area who are super frustrated with the property damage that's being done to their establishments. But as frustrated as I am, as frustrated as like the police department is, when we see these one-off issues happening, across the street. We had a chair thrown through the window, and that's very unfortunate. It's nothing that any of us ever want to see for our business community, our small business community. So there was lots of talk from City Council that they would like to start a small business fund, and where people can apply for funding to get broken glass replaced.
Like a relief fund or something.
Relief fund. So we will wait to see if that comes full circle. That's being proposed by a couple members of City Council. So in the meantime, if you're a part of the Downtown Association, we have already started a program through my office that allows businesses to try to get the closable gates for the doorways.
The little scissor gates that go across the front of a storefront or maybe your door. You recently started that with the Pueblo Downtown Association. So that includes the city going out and measuring and then fitting their structure or their building entryway for those gates to help protect. I think there's been a number of programs that the city has partnered with other folks in the past, like Crime Stoppers with the Lights On for Safety.
Yep, city allocated $200,000 to put in security systems for Census Track, which is the downtown area. Also, when I was in City Council, I allocated $300,000 to small businesses that are in a census tract that they could apply to receive a grant. So all of the sales tax that they paid in over 5 quarters, if they paid on time and their sales tax was kept up, they got all of that money back from the city of Pueblo. So that's one thing that we've done for small businesses during COVID. The previous administration provided parklets to a lot of the downtown businesses for outdoor patios, patio furniture, patio heaters, patio lights. So those were some of the things that had been provided to the downtown businesses over the last several years. So it's not that the city doesn't care. It's not that city government doesn't care, or the police department doesn't care. We hear your frustrations. We're doing what we can.
And I think we share them. I think that's
totally.
Another thing that folks want to hear from us is we share your frustration.
Yeah, the individual who was caught by the police department right after he threw a chair through to the front door of the Senate was taken to jail for hours, let out, reoffended, rearrested, let out, didn't show up to court, was out on a PR bond, and police picked him up, and he's now finally back in jail for not showing up for court. So 3 times. It took the police department 3 times before that this individual is being kept.
Well, and those are only the 3 most recent offenses.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. It's not that he didn't have any other offenses prior.
Yep. So, to say that the police department is not doing their job that's completely misinformation. It's damning information for our community. It's damning when we're trying to recruit and retain police officers. As of yesterday, we had 39 open positions, 134 working officers, and our allocation is 231, which means we are nearly 100 cops short. That's not an excuse. That's just reality. Yeah. Those are the numbers. Those are the facts. They're doing everything that they possibly can to answer calls. Last night when we were sitting in the city council meeting, we had 43 calls holding at 9 o'clock. It's hot. People are calling 911 a lot. And so we just, remind the community to call when it's an emergency only. And hopefully we can get out there and solve some of this petty crime, these smaller crimes. City Council froze 5 police positions, the last City Council meeting, to hire 5 CSO officers because we have a higher rate of people applying to be CSOs. And they can go out and they can help with these low-level offenses, take reports, collect evidence, collect video footage of.
They get to do a lot of the follow-up reporting and kind of assist where our officers who are on duty, they can't go to an active crime scene or respond in that way, but they can respond in other ways. So when folks call and say they have property damage, or folks call and there's a trespass or something, our CSOs can go to those types of calls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to start to help with some of those low-level offenses that we see.
Yeah. I saw another question that came up last night during the city council meeting on Facebook in the comments, and one person asked, what can businesses do as far as connecting their cameras? And I know we have the Community Connect program with the police department. There's an open house actually tomorrow on Wednesday at the police department in the community room, and that allows folks who already have business cameras to connect it into the real-time crime center. Yep. We talked about it a little bit last week, but it's really cool. Tomorrow folks are invited. If you don't have a camera system or you want to learn more about how the program works, you'll be able to meet with vendors and get some questions answered, and then they're actually giving tours of the real-time crime center. So
yeah, I think that'll be great.
Yeah, there are some opportunities that we can address this, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Mayor. Of just we share folks' frustration. It's frustrating to us as well. Anything else to add about City Council?
I think that's probably it for today.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, I'm ready.
Scott Hobson.
Oh gosh, yeah. How could we even pass that up? I will say, I've only been at the city for a short period of time, just 3.5 years, and then someone like Scott who has been at the city for 26 years, and in city or county government within the state of Colorado for 39 years.
Yeah, impressive.
That's probably the most joy and laughter I've heard in a city council meeting in my entire 3.5 years. It was really special. It was really cool. So for our listeners, if you didn't tune into city council last night, I would recommend going to Facebook and watching the live feed for the proclamation.
Yep. The dedication of the trail.
Yeah, and that trail naming is really special.
Yeah.
It's really special. We're going to miss Scott.
We are.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's done a lot of amazing work in our community, both for city government and for county government, whether it was in parks planning or in housing development. He's just been an incredible professional. Yeah. Last night was special to be able to recognize him.
Yep.
Cool to see his family, his kids and his grandkids and a great grandchild, which is obviously why he's retiring, so he can spend some time with family. But I'm glad you added that.
Congratulations, Scott Hobson.
Congratulations to Scott.
We wish you many years of happy retirement.
And hopefully, I know Andrew Hayes mentioned he hopes that everybody forgets Scott's number. But I think we might still keep him on speed dial so we can ask him some questions.
Yeah, historical knowledge.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so congratulations to Scott. Thanks for stopping me on that one, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I think that's a wrap then for episode 21. Don't forget, you can email us, mayor@pueblo.us, and find our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, YouTube, local channel 17, and we'll see you next week.